I have watched the Reze Arc movie, and I will tell you with spoilers what I thought about it. So I'm letting you know right now. If you plan on watching the movie, this is a spoiler. Simply in what I'm about to say or how I'm about to say it, it is a spoiler. I'm just letting you know right real quick. Now, gun, done, good. Okay. This is a tragedy. This is That's it. That's really the start of the spoiler. I didn't want to bring along people here to keep listening to this if they didn't acknowledge that this was a tragedy. When I tell people that these types of series or shows or movies are tragedies, a lot of people tend to feel that it's me spoiling the movie. I'm not really going to go too in depth on the movie because I feel that you should go watch it. The reason I think you should go watch it is because the animations were really good. It was a really fun movie to watch in the animation style. It was funny. There were certain moments where I found myself laughing. There wasn't necessarily any moments where I felt that I was gonna cry or like super sad or depressing, but it is still a tragedy. There's this sad experiences of it. But I think when you walk into these certain movies, or when the writer kind of just gives you an idea of like, hey, by the way, this is a tragedy, a bunch of shit's gonna go down, everybody's gonna go suffer. So it's obvious, right? That this is a tragedy, and I would reference other shows, but then I feel like I'd be spoiling those shows as well. That I would say, hey, those are tragedies, by the way. But there is a good amount of shows that are airing right now that I feel that tragedy is becoming a little bit more popular and a little bit more mainstream to be enjoyed with. There was a certain era, you can think about it kind of like a Disney effect, where having a bad ending or having an ending where everything isn't just happy or positive was kind of like the norm. So I don't know if I said that right. Basically, if the movie ended and everybody wasn't happy or if everybody wasn't satisfied that was on the good side, people didn't like it. People would review bomb it negatively because the critics' comments would say a lot to say, I didn't feel fulfilled. That's what a tragedy is going to cause, though. A tragedy will make you feel that the ending isn't necessarily fulfilling because you didn't get the ending you wanted. You got the ending where characters don't get the ending that they want. So if you put yourself in the shoes of the character, you will end up feeling upset or frustrated. So that's something that I really wanted to talk about. This movie was lovely to watch. It was a very romantic movie to enjoy. I personally loved the romance in this movie. It was really cute, it was really wholesome. It was very proper, and it was my friend, I went to watch it with a friend, and he said that he didn't like the pacing. He wanted more of the romance section of it. He wanted to see the whole dynamics of how it could develop and them being cute as shit, right? I feel like it was fine in the sense of pacing. Did I feel like it was rushed? Not necessarily. By the way, don't go, do not go watch this with your parents. There is a very sexy scene in this movie that I just remembered. Do not watch it with your parents. It is gonna be awkward as shit. Just a heads up. There is a very sexy scene in this. So just letting you know right now. What else was it? The animation for sure was probably the biggest staple of it. Now, I feel like it's weird, and it could just be a situation where we've been having such good animations, but I don't know. I think I've just been watching such good animations, Jujutsu Kaisen, the new Demon Slayer movie, that the level of animation that I feel I'm expecting is more of the payoffs. So feeling like the animation feels like it's paying off from the story being so exhilarating, and you're just like, wow, what a payoff. Because sometimes the sequences can be a good 30 seconds and it could feel so fulfilling as long as it was very well animated. In this case, it is a large section of great animation fighting. And I enjoyed it. I'm going to say it. I enjoyed it either way. Even if I don't think this is, I would say it's an 8 out of 10 for me. The reason for that is that the story wasn't very fulfilling. I wouldn't take someone that isn't into anime to watch this movie. unless I know that they're big fans of fighting sequences. If you loved fighting sequences, if you love beautiful animation, if you love beautiful scenery, this is amazing to watch. Am I ever going to rewatch it? Probably not. But like I said, I'm not much of a animations, beautiful, everything explosions. Wow. Simply because for me, it's the payoffs, the sequences, the storylines that lead to that moment where the fighting scenes feel so wow, I really need this to work out in a certain way. And I don't know, it's not giving me the payoff that I wanted simply because the lead up did it, I don't know. The first part of the fighting was the big payoff for me, but then everything after that, it's kind of like, after you watch the movie, you'll understand. But the first actual combat that is in the movie was exciting because it's like the introduction of the power that your opponent has. And you're just like, no freaking way, that's crazy. But I think it just wanes off on me. I think, like I said, I've been watching so much beautiful animation recently that it's cool. It's badass. But the payoff is in those first 30 seconds, those first 2 minutes of combat. And then after that, I don't know. I want more story to be brought back so that I can feel that I'm having that payoff. But instead, you just get a massive, massive amount of sequences of combat, which is cool. Like I said, if you love it, you're going to love it. I think anyone that loves animation would easily say this is a 10 out of 10. For me, I think I'm more of a story driven person. So that's really the type of narratives, the type of content that I like to consume, where there's a lot more story and there's a lot less fighting. But the fighting is badass. You want to see a lot of combat. I mean, Demon Slayer is super badass. Jujutsu Kaisen is super badass. My Hero Academia is badass, etc. But it's the payoff feeling that you get when combat starts or when it concludes. The whole everything in between, kind of like depending on if there's development of the characters becoming stronger or understanding their power a little bit more. I feel that we're not getting that yet in Chainsaw Man. That's my opinion on it. There wasn't a lot of power creep necessarily. So I'm not going to try. Like I said, I'm trying not to spoil super, super hard, but that's it. That's my commentary on it. If you want to go watch the movie, make sure to go watch it. If you love animations, go watch it. Don't watch it with your parents. And it's going to be fun. It's a fun movie. 8 out of 10 is really good either way. Bye. Subscribe. Bye.